Boom, boom, boom. Belly's not showing. Lawnmowers have taken a break. Okay, I just wanted to make this video today to say thank you to the 21 guests who have come on my podcast, Wellness on the Rocks. I could not have done this without you guys, and I'm incredibly grateful that you all came on my platform and put yourselves out there and allowed me to tell your story of what you're doing in life, the hospitality industry in San Diego. And, this podcast ultimately is about you, the people. This podcast process starts now. And I will always support the 21 people and their brands and their projects and whatever they're doing in their careers for trusting me and coming on this platform. So I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on that. So this thing started with Corey Minotti, the director of guest services at Hotel Coronado, and why he was such an important aspect to this podcast was because he had the ability to come on here and be honest and open and reflect on the real life struggles that he's been through in this industry and life that so many other people have that you don't always really hear professionally from people. And so the fact that we kicked this thing off with him, I can't say thank you enough, because it's very challenging to put yourself out there. And I feel like you kind of set the tone for this thing going forward, dude. So it was such an important foundation that I drew from. So thank you. Patrick Ketting, video and film production. Patrick, dude, he's a regular at the bar. He is a great guy, and he kind of set me off with these words of wisdom about the importance of expression and this creative journey that I was taking. So thank you, dude. If you see Patrick at the bar, if you're listening to this, buy him a Coors Light. He's a fucking great guy. He's there every Friday, and thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. Catherine Vaughn, dude, bartender, Naughty Barrel, honestly was such a great person to have hanging around the bar. Really somebody who was the first bartender who pushed to come on my platform. And it sucks because she moved out of town, and honestly, she was such a great person, such a great bartender. I just do remember that episode. I did get kind of shit-faced, and I was like, oh, dude, maybe I got to reflect on my process here and make some changes and really, so thank you, dude. Next was Jessica McPartland, the general manager at Tivoli. Now, she was somebody who is running the oldest and one of the busiest bars in San Diego. And for her to take that risk and put herself out there as the manager and face of that brand and talk about some of these real things, I can't say thank you enough, dude. You should definitely go visit Tivoli. She's generally there during the daytime. Say what's up, listen to her story, let her know what you think. Really great person. Can't say enough. Next was Jaron Udom, owner of Bards and Carts. Honestly, dude, he's a regular at the bar. One of the best guys that walks through that door, hands down. And he really also pushed to come on this podcast and to talk about his experience working in restaurants, the mental health aspect, growing business, his story. So, dude, I learned so much about his unique journey in life, and definitely couldn't say thank you enough, dude. If you see him, buy him a beer, listen to his story, go visit him at the game store. It's right around the corner from Stout too. Thank you, dude. Next would be Chelsea from Stout Public House. Dude, Chelsea's one of my coworkers. I see her every week. Absolute rock star, yoga teacher, waitress, bartender, runs her own business on the side. One of the best people I've met out here in San Diego. Honestly, dude, we're coworkers. Would definitely love to keep working with Chelsea in the future. You should go pick her brain. She does yoga occasionally on the weekends here out in OB. Listen to her story, talk about her mental health journey in this industry, support her. I mean, dude, she's, definitely someone who I'd love to keep working with. Next was Jeremy Stonebreaker. And dude, Jeremy's just like an absolute dude. Like, so it was so cool to just sit and like kick it with him on the podcast. I see this guy, Jeremy, at the bar all the time. He is, honestly, dude, just like a dude you'd want to sit down and watch football with and talk about sports and talk about bar industry. And, every time he walks through the door, I'm like, yes, dude. All right, cool. Jeremy's here, dude. Always brings such good energy. He's kind of moved around a little bit since recording the podcast episode, but he's always at the bar. You should listen to his story. And, if you see him, buy him a beer, talk to him, ask him questions, dude. Really nice guy. So thank you, dude, for putting yourself out there too. Next was Seth Sandoval. Now, another just absolute dude who you just want to kind of sit down with at the bar and talk about the industry with. He's now leading the team over at Kiku Room, the new hi-fi music listening bar and club down in Little Italy. That's kind of been like my new post Monday night shift drink spot that I hit on the way home. That place is crushing it over there, and he's like a huge part of that. I remember on New Year's Eve, Justice was headlining Petco Park, and I got these text messages that they showed up to Kiku Room and were taking pictures with the bartenders afterwards. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that's like fucking nuts. Like, super happy for him and everything that he's building. You should listen to his story. He's got, a lot of stuff he's working on in this industry. So thank you, dude. Please go support Seth and those guys over there. Next was Carrie Wilds. And Carrie Wilds was a great person to have on. I mean, super knowledgeable, not only, decades working in restaurants and bars, but like with the mental health aspect, the acupuncture. It sucks because right after the episode, she moved to Chicago. And I just remember I was like, damn, dude, I feel like if Carrie had stayed here, that would be somebody who I would work with professionally moving forward, because we have so much in common with the mental health and the restaurants and the grinding and all that stuff. So really excited to see. She's got her own business out there in Chicago right now. So super pumped for her and everything she's doing. Can't wait to see, her growth in this industry, what she's doing with the acupuncture and all that stuff. So thank you, Carrie. Next was Taylor Beresford, yoga instructor and host of the But Seriously podcast. It was super cool to connect with you, Taylor. She's kind of doing her creative thing, trying to grow and figure out her platform and what she's doing with her podcast and yoga. She's somebody who came on my podcast and really put herself out there and talked about some like really cool, not cool, I guess, but personal things in her life that she's gone through that, has shaped who she's become professionally and mentally with all the things that she's doing with her yoga and her podcast expression and everything. So you should check out her episode, go visit her in the yoga studio, say what's up to her. Next was Ned Davis, pilot for the U.S. Navy. Now, I wasn't sure if this was going to work. Like, can you bring on a guy with a high rank in the Navy and talk about real life mental health struggles that people go through in the military? Like, that can kind of backfire a little bit. And Ned is a very confident dude who likes to talk. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And Ned just absolutely fucking crushed, dude. I mean, 2.5 hours, history, what people go through in the Navy, his advice for how people can take care of themselves and grow professionally, mentally. And what was really unique about that episode is there was a retired sniper for the Marines who listened to that episode with hesitation going in. And after the episode, he came to me and said, wow, dude, I actually really appreciated listening to that. That was really cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this concept kind of works. Like you can, when you lead with empathy, get on these platforms and talk about real life things. So I can't, like, that was awesome, Ned. I think he's doing his like some sort of program where he's moving back to the East Coast for a year to get his degrees or certifications or something like that. But like, I would love to bring Ned on again and continue to talk the conversations of mental health and the military and just like pick his brain. Super cool guy. So always going to support him. Next was Nick Hogan for Mover and Shaker. I mean, just like talk about like, dude, running one of the biggest bartending social media platforms there is. And for him to just take a chance and come on this no-name podcast and talk about his experience with his mental health that he's gone through in the industry and how he has sort of shaped and built his brands. Like, dude, can't thank you enough, Nick. Always will support Mover and Shaker. If you're not out there following Mover and Shaker, you need to now. He's selling products. He's selling apparel. He's got his social media platform. He's hosting events all over the country. Like, that dude is somebody who's just absolutely going to grow into this big business juggernaut in the years to come. Like, no doubt about it. So would love to reconnect with you at some point when you're out here, dude. That was fucking awesome. Next was McLean Campbell from Happy Medium. Just talk about like an absolute dude who's like such a kind guy, such a hard worker, grinder behind that bar up there. He's recognized here in the city as being one of the best bartenders there is. And, you go visit him and you can see why. He's just consistent. He's kind. He's hardworking. He's great. Has his people helping run the team up there at Happy Medium, dude. So if you haven't been to that bar and visited him, I think you definitely need to go do that. I'd love to work with him again. Next was Nina Singer, SoCal brand ambassador. And, just talk about an absolute grinder and incredibly smart, kind person. The way she's running her business, she's running these events. You can see why she's had success. I mean, she can just take over a room, run, an event, a program, connect with people super professionally, super smart. And I think that she is going to be somebody who definitely grows in business as the years to come. So I would love to work with Nina in the future because I see where her mind is at and I'm very impressed. After that was Marina Ferrara, who is now running Carlo, the speakeasy inside Cardellino. And I mean, I was just like, when I met Marina, I was just super impressed with her knowledge and, on so many aspects of this industry, from the cocktails to the programs to, management. She's, the unspoken thing that I don't think people realize is her ability to network and build relationships professionally within this industry. So, dude, yeah, she's an absolute rock star here in San Diego. I'd love to work with Marina in the future going forward. I feel like she's definitely going to be like a name as the years go on. Next was Eliza Woodman, lead bartender at Communion. I mean, just talk about such a talented, hardworking bartender who's like starting to carve her own path in this industry for herself. Everything she does, she crushes. She's doing cocktail programs. She's doing bartending competitions. She's in the gym every day. Such a great, kind, hardworking person. I also think in like the years to come is going to elevate herself professionally. So you should go check her out, dude. She's at Communion. It's an incredibly nice rooftop cocktail bar up in Mission Hills around the corner from Marina. So you can start, knocking some of these people off in an afternoon and picking their brain, listening to their stories. Really unique what these people are doing. After that was Relitza Kombakis, and she is the owner and architect at Studio Ralu, who has designed and helped build foundationally some of the coolest bars and restaurants here in San Diego. And just, dude, just to sit down and talk with her about her process and what goes into her mind and how she builds and designs bars. Super fascinating, dude. She's over at Kiku. She helped build and design Kiku Room over there with Seth. She's part of that team. She's there on the weekends sometimes. So you should definitely go listen to her story. Pick her brain. You can go visit her, go visit those guys, see what they're doing. Really fascinating. Such a kind and nice person. Couldn't say thank you enough for putting yourself out there and allow me to sort of pick your brain on such a unique aspect of this industry. Anna Canrinas, lead bartender at Mabel's Gone Fishing. Just talk about such a diverse skill set of the restaurant industry. I mean, she's done almost every position there is. And, such a nice, kind person, humble, hardworking, knowledgeable. She's continuing to grow and make a name for herself in the industry with her creativity and what she's trying to do up there. So if you haven't been to Mabel's Gone Fishing, the food is great, the drinks are great, the atmosphere, everyone's super friendly. It's a great team up there. I'm really excited to see what she does professionally in the years to come. So thank you, Anna, so much. Next was Rain Garcia, the content creator and owner of Garcia Media Works. Now, it's this was an interesting one because Rain's a year out of college. She's younger. She's not really behind the bar at all. She's doing the social media. I was a little hesitant. Somebody suggested I should reach out to her, and I was like, does this really play to what I'm doing? Dude, she showed up, she crushed, super confident, super professional, starting her own business, working with brands, out there, doing her thing. She showed she could come and hang out and do this. So I was impressed with her, man. Super knowledgeable on the topic of restaurants. I'd love to continue to work with her in the future. I'm very excited to see what she does with marketing and the sales and the networking aspect. So thank you, Rain, for coming on. Really appreciate you. Molly Kelly, server and bartender at Mabel's, who's now at the Mabel's. Dude, honestly, just one of the nicest people I've met in this industry. So incredibly knowledgeable on the topic of hospitality. Such a range of knowledge and wisdom in so many elements of this industry. She's kind of like all of us. She's carving her own path and name for herself, trying to find her way, continuing to learn and grow. Such a friendly person to sit down with. I'd love to keep working with you in the future, Molly, and to see what you do. Really excited to see your growth. So thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. And last but not least, dude, Jenny Meyer, sommelier at Deckman's North. What a way to close this thing off with one of the most hardest, wisest, smartest person I've met in this industry. I mean, she's a sommelier for one of the top restaurants here in San Diego, and, absolute grinder, what she's doing in the gym, what she's doing with restaurants, her history. I would just absolutely love to keep working with you and to come visit you at the bar at the restaurant up there at Deckman's. So just an unreal conversation. It was such a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. But I just want to say thank you and to take this time, dude, and to give back to you guys who have given me the opportunity to tell your story. It genuinely means so much to me that you guys trusted me and to represent you, your brands, and to put yourself out there. It is not an easy thing to just show up to some guys. I'm not really a name in the city. I'm just a guy. I'm a bartender with a camera and a microphone, and to show up to my apartment with lights and cameras and vulnerably put yourself out there for 2 hours. It means a lot, dude. And I don't take it lightly. I really do appreciate you. So I feel like you guys kicked this thing off, and now I was able to test technically from a perspective of editing, hosting, podcasting. It's you guys helped me get here. This process starts now. I am only getting going. So much good stuff to come with storytelling, with content creation, podcasting, networking, telling the stories of those people here in San Diego. I'm having conversations with so many people trying to set things up, make the next move. So stay tuned. Episode 22 drops on Monday. Thank you very much.